worked as a DJ at a radio station. It was a commercial radio station, modern rock. We had like playlists. We couldn't really choose what we were going to play. Like senior year in college, I was a big fan of the show Felicity, and they used a lot of music that I'd never heard before. And I think like a month before I graduated, I was like, wait, this must be somebody's job. Like there's so much music, like someone must do that. And I started as an unpaid intern, and I got in there and I just like started churning out paperwork for them and was really productive. I definitely believe that like hard work sticks out in Hollywood, and you know, if you can become invaluable to somebody, that's how I got my job. 5.5 years ago now, started my own company. And I've been working on One Tree Hill for 8 years. I did Ghost Whisperer for 3 years, and then it was... Music supervisor is basically hired to help a show find songs. Not any of this, like there's a composer and he does everything that is scored. And almost, if there's something instrumental, it's likely that he's going to do it. The main reason people need music supervisors is to find good music that they can afford. Licensing and budget are like a big deal for me. I will not pitch a song unless I know how to license it, and if I don't know how much approximately it's going to cost. Every show is different, and it's all based on, like right now, One Tree Hill's been on the air for 8 years, so it licenses all media for the world in perpetuity. That means we can use it on television, on cable, on DVDs, which is home video, now known or hereafter devised, because like VHS was the big home video thing, and then DVDs came along, and then there's going to be some next thing. Well, we're covered for that next thing, whatever it is. Oh, Forever and Ever. Forever and Ever I'm in. Perpetual, think of it like that.
So what does that mean on the contract when it's perpetuity?
That means, so that means I can use your song in this episode forever and ever. Like if this episode...
Future being syndicated.
Yeah. I'm licensing your song for use in that episode for a certain amount of time over a certain scene. And if I want to use it in another episode, I have to license it again. Those companies make my life easier. So, you know, you might have to give up a chunk of the pie, but they already have my ear. You know, there are so many artists out there I can't possibly talk to, listen to, teach how to license every single one of them. So the people who represent indie artists make my life, like some of them have pre-approved deals with studios, but very often they know my paperwork, they know my fees, they know what I'm looking for, so you know, they'll only send stuff that actually works for my show. These are people, they pay you money to own your copyright. And when they take in that money, they get, like, you know, they have all your licensing fees that come in from licensing shows or films or whatever. They keep 100% of that fee, of that publishing fee, until they have recouped their money on it. And then beyond that, you've worked out some deal. They don't take any ownership, but they will take a part of your licensing fee for doing all that paperwork for you. And they will help chase down royalties in other countries as well. 3 minutes. Like almost every song is used over several scenes. That's what we like to do, is take one song and put it over several scenes. I mean, there are the occasional like 30-second cues or 60-second cues, but we tend to use it for 3 minutes, which can be a big payback. Yeah, the longer the use, the more you get paid in residual. I'll know in like the first 10 seconds whether the rest of the song may or may not be good. But for me, I'm going to have to start the song in the episode. I'm not just going to start at the chorus in most instances. Every once in a while, to get to it, if I'm like crashing into a party scene, we might crash into the chorus, and we may actually back the song in because we like the ending. So we'll just start it at like, you know, 30 seconds before the ending because we want just that 30 seconds. But very often, I'm starting a song at the beginning. I like to get my music digitally, so if I get a folder from Rob Seals, I'm going to drag it into my iTunes, and it'll pop up automatically on my recently added. So I'll go through my recently added, and listen to, I usually do it when I'm listening for an episode. So I might drag it into the episode that I'm listening to folder. I will probably also categorize it into indie, quirky, mellow, upbeat, whatever. And if it's unsigned, I will usually put it in both the indie and an adjective category. I tend not to go there as often. It's like, honestly, that's not really my thing. I like to use what's new and upcoming current. But there are episodes where you kind of need that. Most supervisors will not want just a cold email.
Right.
And I get
So how
cold
do you get to
emails,
that?
and because I get so many, I tend to like skip them over. Every once in a while, there'll be like a convincing message if I have like time to like really read what's going on. The other thing you can do is if you want a cold call, talk to the assistant. I was an assistant, and I got like a lot of people in the door because, especially during the summer, it was slow, and people would call and they'd be like, "Can I make you?" A lot of these were people who were pitching indie artists, but we'd never worked with them before. But they were like, "Can I send you a CD?" And I was like, "Okay." Like, I'll listen to it, you know. Like, I'm bored. I like listening to music. You go through these in between companies.
Right.
Is the real answer.
That's the only way.
But also, like, sometimes people will MySpace me, and depending on the day, I'll go and listen to it. And if I think it's something that I need and would use, I'll email you back and say, "Hey, can you send me your song?" You don't want to be too aggressive. That's the most annoying person I get.
Right.
Is the person who like. There actually are people who pitch. One woman called like every week, and I had to get on the phone and be like, "You can't call me every week. My job is to find music, not to take your phone call." Sometimes you may have the best song in the world, it just doesn't work for a project. And so sometimes it's not about you, it's about the shows. I mean, there are lots of different shows on the air, so people are going to need different things.